Good evening, and welcome to the Curse of Strahd. Who would like to recap what happened last time?
We went to the winery.
And there was an army of... Misery decided to join the party, and that went about as well as could be expected. And then we went to the
But it didn't go
winery.
as bad as could be expected.
We also met Van Richten.
Oh, right, yeah.
That seems important.
Yeah,
We
Van
found
Richten got
and he's a vampire.
turned into a vampire and was somehow resisting the effects of Strahd's
by drinking
pull,
holy water,
which very much hurt him in the process, and I believe we put him out of his misery.
After much back and forth about whether or not we were going to kill Strahd and if he could trust us to kill Strahd.
Eventually, we decided to go through with that.
You put him out of his misery, and then you acquired a misery of your own.
Well,
I
think we got... I don't remember which order we got things in.
Misery came first, I think.
No, misery.
No.
Van Richten was like a teeny, or he was supposed to be a teeny bit of a fake out of like, who's the next party member gonna be? Van Richten?
Oh shit!
You did a little. I mean, it was a little bit of a fake out.
But anyway, winery, army of blights, a bunch of stick things and needle things and vine things, and significantly more than we could have fought on our own, and we ended up...
One might say perhaps an infinite number of them.
I wouldn't pull the green curtain back that far necessarily, but we did find a gnarly-looking staff in the hands of one of the head druids upstairs, and broke it, and all of the blights broke with it.
Not before it screamed really loudly.
Yeah, that was interesting. Also, it would seem like some of the other members of the Mardukov family who oversee the winery are still alive. They just were hiding out on the outskirts of the field, waiting for something to come along. Yeah, waiting for someone to help.
Waiting for the help that the innkeeper in Barovia, not Barovia, in Wallaki was going to send, which happened to be us.
We just had been putting it off for a long time.
But it's done. Wallaki will have its wine.
I think it's only been like a week.
Find out this time on the Curse of Strahd.
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum.
And you are now in... Well, you are still in the winery.
Yeah, we stopped right after we killed everything. Oh, it's so blurry.
Yeah, give it a second to load in.
There it is.
There we go.
Still taking a second for me. Alright, there we go.
Can we have regrouped at this point?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay?
Drop my spells.
I heard a bunch of screaming and then silence.
Marcus and Misery, you head upstairs to the room where the others are. See this druid and the remains of the staff broken now in two.
Well, all the blights just died.
Yeah, there's twigs
look around
everywhere.
I take it you had something to do with that.
Yeah, this staff apparently was the key.
Oh, I never opened my sheet. There we go.
There's not much else on the body of the druid. There's some animal skins, some empty vials.
We should.
But there's no
Probably.
coin, or there's no.
Right, we wanted to figure out what the heck they were doing here. Didn't something come out of the wine barrels last session
It was
that
twig
wasn't
light.
wine?
It's just more
Yeah. Were they like? I want to go look at that and see how that happened. I mean, were they just hiding in there? Were they growing in there?
At some point, sooner rather than later, we should report back to the Martikovs, let them know the place is more or less safe.
Probably
If
sooner.
it's not going to freak the rest of you out too much, I'd like to take this woman's body. I will need to replace Henry, unfortunately. Brave soul that he was.
You will need a long rest to cast that again.
Oh yeah, she just needs the body.
Okay.
Pre-animated corpse.
Boo.
I don't like it, but I'm not going to argue.
Your magic is your business.
See, he gets it.
Just don't stink up the cart.
Oh, you'd let him ride in the cart?
No.
But not me?
Once again, it's my cart. I paid for it. I make the decisions about who rides in it. But I do agree with him that any zombies you raise, or skeletons for that matter, walk alongside.
This
Right on
druid.
top.
This druid already, smells pretty bad.
I'm gonna go get some fresh air, Katrina says,
Yeah.
squeezing past everyone in the hallway.
I'll go the long way around. Because everyone else is in the way.
Do you need me to drag you to the other floor?
No, I got it, I think.
Alright.
It's just not where I expected it to be.
There's a lot of people outside.
That would be the Martikovs.
I guess we just navigate back outside.
I still want to investigate the
Alright.
thingies, but I can do it later.
Yeah, we'll start with the Markovs. And while this is going on, Victor is inside.
Yeah, okay.
Is it done?
I think so.
It's over?
I look around at all the fucking twig blight scraps everywhere, and I'm like, seems like it.
At the very least, you'll have no shortage of firewood.
The old man will hobble forward and take a look around. What a mess.
Well, we didn't burn it down at least.
Make yourselves useful. Pick this all up.
All of it?
You two. He points at the men of the family. And
the number of arrows I had disappeared. That's bad. I definitely didn't use them all up.
Yeah, they start getting to work just clearing out some of the twigs.
I think I had around 15, but I don't know. I think that's less, but we can say the ones I just didn't recover some. It's really weird. Why did it do that? Anyway, twig cleaning time.
I will follow along behind them using Mage Hand to just sort of like sweep aside piles of twigs and make a clear path to walk.
We can chuck up my weird arrow situation in my sheet with just some of them getting lost in all the twigs everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's no recovering arrows from this.
There is.
Aside from,
I can get the one that was in this body, but I think I actually got that back in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many I had or whatever.
Meanwhile, Victor, you're in that room. Well, first thing you notice is that, like, there are so many twigs in here.
Yeah.
It's a bit of effort just, like, you know, walking around.
I'll try not to make too much of a mess. I'll try to make them in.
But yeah, you do notice the rich smell of fermenting wine.
So I'll go up top. I mean, I'll be, I'll open up the fermentation vats. Is it just wine, except for the one that tipped over and
Pretty
I'm
much,
just gonna
yeah.
put me in here so
like
the stream can see what's happening.
Yeah, you open the lids and you see wine on the inside.
But are there also twigs on the inside?
No?
Or weren't
I
there
mean,
twig lights
not that you
inside
can
them?
roll perception. Yeah,
Wow.
you can see the bottom. Like it's dark wine, but you still see the bottom, and you don't see twigs.
So they were like
Okay.
just in the one that they came in.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny.
Can I taste it? Does it taste like? Well, I assume it doesn't taste good because it's not quite done yet. But does it taste any
Yeah.
fouler than it should?
Make a Constitution save.
That doesn't sound good.
It does taste pretty bad.
Yeah, maybe they should just dump this batch.
Oh, and
Whatever.
you make the save. Yeah, you actually take 13 poison
Jesus
damage.
Christ!
What was the save?
Poison condition?
No, but what was like the DC on that if a 15 didn't make it?
The 15 was for the poisoned condition. The damage just happens, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drink it.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think Victor drank it. I think.
Well,
Victor...
I wasn't like drinking it. I was just like, dipping a finger in and tasting it.
Half the damage. It's really hard to taste, so like you go in for a second, finger dip, right?
Yeah, okay. Alright.
So definitely.
Yeah, definitely get rid of this one.
Yeah.
Katrina is still sweeping twigs off to the side so they're easier to pick up and it's easier to walk.
I'm in here collecting twigs, I guess.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. It's just this wine is awful.
Well,
It's
there were
unfortunate.
twig lights inside of it. It's probably tainted.
Yeah, I probably should have guessed that. Anyway, um I'll also start gathering sticks because I'm embarrassed and nauseous. So I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen and start collecting sticks.
Eventually, between everyone, you're able to clear out most of the sticks, enough to like walk around and like it's not a hazard.
I assume it was like a giant
Should
stick
we
pile
should
outside.
we burn them like in a bonfire?
Why? Firewood for days.
Oh well, yes, I suppose.
Did I
They
not
might
tell you
they might
not to
start
set
rotting
my
though.
winery on fire?
Not the winery, just this.
We will set the twigs on fire, just over a very long period of time, as
And in a
needed.
controlled environment as needed, yes. Don't you have like a furnace or a fireplace in here?
It's not a smeltery. Also,
Well, but I mean, they've got to have fireplaces. People live here.
we
Yeah.
will let the guy know that the current batch of wine that's in here is probably poisoned or tainted from the...
Yeah, it's really bad.
He just sighs. Then it looks like Barovia is going to have to wait a little longer for its wine. Still, I suppose we should repay you.
Out of curiosity, I'm just looking at this. I don't actually cast it because I don't have it prepared.
If you render alcohol free of poison, does that make it water?
No.
I can't.
You're specifically with this spell able to neutralize the poison without spoiling the wine.
I can't do anything right now. I'm still sort of getting used to things, but I might be able to help with purifying this wine, hopefully without destroying its flavor.
Is
But
that so?
it would have to wait until tomorrow though, and I don't know if either of us have that kind of time. Things for our group have been moving kind of rapidly of late.
Well, you are certainly welcome to rest here for the night.
This would probably be the safest night's sleep we've had since leaving Vallaki, so...
It's
So,
not
don't
like any
jinx
of you
it.
know where you're going anyways. I don't recall you saying that you had plans beyond this.
At some point, we do need to get back to Valeria.
And Irina.
If we do stay the night, we can help these people and hopefully make the wine better, I guess, but by the same token, the more time we wait, the more risk there is of something happening.
Well, we're not going to be much good if we're not rested.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, while you're still here, Adrian, he calls out to his son, go get the box. Go get the box of crap.
The box of crap.
Yeah. Bodes
And,
well for our reward.
His son nods and will head upstairs and then come back downstairs with a big box of crap. You're not the first group to oppose the Count.
We're well aware of that.
And you know there's been many others like you over the decades and centuries.
That's what we've heard.
My family has collected some of the belongings of those who have previously fallen. I dare say you can make better use of it than they can.
Well, we're currently alive.
And Adrian drops the box of gear from former parties.
What's in it?
Go on, take what you like.
I'm gonna real quickly just shoot up a detect magic and sort through anything that is or isn't magical, just so that there's differentiation.
There is a magic item in there.
Okay.
It is a spear.
Also, is what's going on with the wine magical at all, or is it just natural decay, rotten poison?
There's no magic involved.
Okay.
But yeah, the spear is a blood spear.
What's a blood spear?
I don't know. This isn't that spell. But I can cast that spell if you would like me to. Does anyone even use spears? Would any of us make use of this?
I mean, technically, anyone with simple weapon proficiency could. But I don't know how actually using a spear impacts spellcasting.
You need to have the hands to cast spells.
Yeah.
Both
Unless you have the
hands?
war. A hand free, I believe. Warcaster lets you cast spells even if both hands are occupied, but normally I think if a spell has somatic components, you do need at least one free hand for the components.
And I think you need one free hand for the. You need to have your focus in the other hand.
No, that can be the same hand.
Oh, okay.
But you do need the one free hand. At least I think. I don't know, and this is Josh's game, so I don't know how they're ruling it.
You do need the hand for casting unless you have like Orecaster.
Yeah.
But can it be the same hand that you have your focus in?
If it's like a wand, yeah.
Okay.
You're just making wand movements, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
Gandalf does like a staff and a sword, and the staff is his focus, and that's legit.
What if
Yeah.
you're wielding like a weapon and a shield?
Then you would not be able to unless you had Warcaster.
Oh, okay, that's excluding Warcaster, okay. Those are two separate inquiries. Got it.
Well, it's still valuable.
Fair.
I could use it if you trust me with it, but, well, I'm not going to tell you what to
Does
think.
Missouri even use weapons?
She has simple weapon proficiency. And she has a dagger.
Oh.
I will take the blood spear, and without casting Identify on it, so none of us still know what it does, I will hand it to Misery and just say, think of it as a trust exercise. As long as you don't stab us in the back, you can keep it.
Oh, but the front or the side is fine.
You know what I mean.
Thank you.
Is there anything else interesting in here?
Katrina, you notice that there is a like a holy book in there, like a priest book,
I will
or a prayer book. Excuse me.
I will
that's
definitely
worse.
take a look at it, though. I am very new to all this, so I will probably not understand a lot of it.
Yeah, there is a prayer book, prayer beads, a holy symbol, and a priest pack.
I guess there was a priest in a past party. That's a lot of people.
I remember that one.
So it's recent.
That was a while ago, no.
Recent enough that
I
you're
think
still alive for it.
2 groups ago. I was a young man then.
So the group before
Richtons.
Van Richten.
Yes. He was an unfortunate fellow, I remember. Had a crisis of faith in this land.
That's not surprising.
Out of curiosity, do I know what deity the holy symbol and various iconography is dedicated to?
Make a religion check.
Damn.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Oh fuck.
At that rate, with that. The prayer book is like very, I don't want to say non-denominational, but like
Multi-denominational?
yeah.
It's Unitarian Universalist. There's a hint of truth in everything.
It calls out all of the gods that you have heard of.
Fascinating.
And as luck would have it, the holy symbol is the Raven Queen.
Well, that's certainly convenient.
Are there any other interesting weapons or gear?
There's a few hand axes. As well as a great axe.
Are there more arrows?
There are 20 silver arrows.
I'm gonna take those.
There's various armors in there. Leather armor, hide armor. I don't know if that is.
No, I don't.
If anyone wants to wear the clothes of dead people. But they do have them. And there's also a journal.
I'll take that.
Shit, I popped up my.
What kind of armor was it?
Several kinds: leather, hide, chainmail.
I'll grab the leather armor and see if I can sort of piece it together such that it'll fit without like inhibiting spellcasting and stuff.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because like I did get armor proficiency as a cleric.
Oh man, your AC's just going up and up.
Yep, I would rather not die. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll take a bit of work, but like
to,
you can do it over the long rest.
I had to refresh, so the music died for me.
Okay.
That's better.
The old man gives Katrina a curious look as she picks up all of the stuff you need to be a cleric.
Recent development.
That's strange. Usually people leave their faith. They lose their faith when they come here. They don't gain it.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a religious person, per se.
And yet you're adopting the practices of a cleric.
I've seen too many people die, and I'd rather not.
The last owner of that, he points at the book and like the prayer beads that you're holding, of those, used to be a cleric. Lost his connection to his deity when he came through the mists. Ended up becoming a drunk and a thief.
Katrina is just beginning to tune out their words and ignore their skepticism.
Fair enough. Although Adrian, who is I guess next to you, says, don't listen to him.
Don't worry, I wasn't. Before we fully
Our
decide...
family follows Mother Night as well, or the Raven Queen, as you call her. As you put on the holy symbol of the Raven Queen.
Curious coincidence.
Is it?
It was the one faith my mother introduced me to outside Barovia, so I guess it's only natural that I was drawn to it when I decided to take this path. I'm just surprised that it had such influence in here.
Your mother was one of the previous group, yes?
I just nod.
How did you know that?
He
Family
picks
resemblance.
he picks up the journal that's in the box, gives it a tap,
Ooh, which one's journal is that?
and hands it to you. You'll have to read it to find out.
Well, we have all night, so
We do have all night.
You have
We now
acquired
have a third journal of the previous party.
Yep.
Yeah. You've acquired Luna's journal.
Cool.
Before we decide for sure whether or not we're bedding down here, I am going to send off another sending to Valeria.
25 words or less. What's the message?
Also, when I take these arrows out, I'm gonna be like, hey, you can have these back if I tie.
Please tell me you and Irina are safe. We can head back to Vallaki now, but if it can wait until morning, we need rest.
Is that
And
less
can
than
answer in
25
a
words?
like manner immediately. Okay. Just give me a second to think what the response is. The current situation, you hear Valeria's voice echo back to you. The current situation is precarious and delicate. And there's like a bit of a bite to her voice.
Can you repeat that?
The current predicament is precarious and delicate.
Let's see.
so does that mean she wants our help or not?
You swear you see an underline on the word delicate. Or hear it, I guess.
If there's nothing else to the message, what I'm going to take away from that is Valeria doesn't trust us to fuck shit up when we get there, so she wants us away from Katrina. Or, sorry, not Katrina, from Irina.
From Irina.
Very similar names. And I will relay as much to the party.
That's only 7 words. So, well, actually, as you're about to relay, there is the rest of the message, which is, I will be in touch. You will make this up to me.
Understandable. Not that I can hear my response to their response,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's very fair. As much as I am worried about Irina, and as much as I do want to go there and help now, I think Valeria doesn't want us to. I don't think they want us in Vallaki to disrupt whatever precarious situation they're dealing with.
So what do we do next?
Stay the night. Find somewhere else to head in the morning
We still
after
do need,
after we've dealt with the wine.
Yeah.
Assuming that is a thing that I can actually do. Still not 100% guaranteed on that.
We still need to find that, figure out that final clue.
Ooh, you have clues now?
We've had clues. They led us to a journal of my father's. They've led us to that sword that Marcus is currently holding. And I'm going to pull out the blank tarot card from all the fucking way back then. And I still have no idea what to make of this.
That looks blank, Princess.
Yes, it does. The rest of her deck was after it was drawn as well.
I forget even who drew which cards.
I think Camus drew the symbol.
Camus drew the symbol.
Well, yeah, we would have pulled the card from his inventory.
I drew the sword, right?
Yeah.
That's Gash, I think.
Yeah, and then
Yes, oh, that's Gash, yes.
and then I got the book.
Yep.
Yes, the dragon-blooded revenant paladin drew the sword that was located in the dragon house filled with revenants.
Oh, so it was.
What was the reading Camus received for the symbol?
It's the one we haven't figured out. The treasure belongs to Mother Night, but is hidden in the house of the Morning Lord, in the hands of a setting sun, having fallen from the heavens. Whatever that means.
Well, I am not nearly enough of a cleric to understand what the fuck that means. Openly cursing.
Wait, isn't, that other town, they're really religious, right?
What, Kresk?
Sorry, yeah, Kresk. There's lots of,
Victor,
you know...
roll history.
Also, didn't Adrian
Didn't we
say...
find out there was a temple to the Morning Lord in Kresk?
Yeah,
We may
Victor,
have.
you know about that place. It's an abbey.
Yeah, so we should go to Kresk. And we should take the wine with us.
That?
Assuming my plan works, and we do have wine to deliver, I think that would be our only way in. From what I remember, they are very, very isolated.
That's what the Vistani told us, that we need wine to enter.
And they don't like outsiders.
Well, I imagine they'll dislike outsiders with wine less than outsiders without wine.
And we'd better hope my plan works.
Yes. Well, let's get some rest.
Once we finish picking up all these sticks.
Yeah, at this point the kids are like the ones that are just picking up the last sticks. The adults are all like sitting down.
So where can we stay?
The two boys are just like turning it into a little game of like stick pickup race.
Or are they like fighting with sticks?
Yeah, half the time they're just fighting.
Oh wow, I can actually prepare spells. What is this?
I don't miss it.
Question.
I'm only a level 1 cleric, so I don't have nearly as many spells to worry about preparing.
So is there somewhere we can stay for the night?
Here, presumably. They did offer.
But I mean, like, specifically where? Like extra beds or a place we can set up a little camp or...
Well, I'm
whatever.
afraid we're short on beds.
Is there some place we can park our wagon and make camp then?
Sure. You're also welcome to sleep down in the basement if you like.
That seems a bit safer than camp, but we
Yeah, it
should
works.
pull our wagon close regardless.
Yeah. We can just throw down some bedrolls in the basement then.
That works.
Yeah.
Assuming everyone has a bedroll.
Yeah, I do. Now.
Oh, I don't need one. But thank you for the concern.
I'm going to raise an eyebrow at that.
Where's the basement?
Down, I imagine.
Right this way. He leads you, to the stairs.
And where do these go?
If I can just... There you go. To the wine cellar, of course.
Interesting.
Doesn't appear to be a lot aging down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just, there is a thin mist on the floor. But,
That seems odd.
I'm sure it's normal.
but yeah, the western
Well, if
half,
it isn't normal, I wouldn't be able to know.
the western rack is completely empty. There is some wine, in the eastern half. It's about half full. Marcus, you immediately notice the wine.
I just bought a bottle from the Vistani though, so I'm not like short. But yeah.
I'm not in the mood for wine.
What?
I'm not in the mood for wine.
It's not our wine, it's theirs.
Well, if it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be theirs either.
If you want to ask them if we can take a bottle or two as a additional payment, you can do that in the morning, but right now, don't touch.
Let's take a rest.
You gonna read the journal?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll huddle up in your sleeping bags around the book.
I guess. Or
Do not
one
light a fire
person-
because we don't want to set this place on fire.
One person probably just reads it aloud.
I'll read it. I haven't gotten to do this before, so.
Well, Victor, you don't really notice this because you haven't really looked at the other books, at the other journals, but this one is actually in better condition than the others.
Well, it's been kept safe in a box for
Yeah.
a while.
I mean, it's not in like perfect condition either, but you know.
I assume we can restore our hit points and stuff now.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I didn't use
The
any
first
plus.
entry just begins with Damien says it's a good idea for us to write things down in books and record our thoughts and things.
He's not
I
wrong.
guess I'm doing that now.
Has anyone else in our party been keeping a journal besides Marcus?
Oh no, don't think so. Katrina hasn't.
Anyway, carry on.
It's followed by a sketch. It's kind of crude. Not quite a stick figure, but like a very simplistic drawing of a man, but you see a beard, an eye patch. You think there's a hat, that is a hat.
Is it supposed to be Damien? That's
You think it's Damien.
That's the ship captain guy, right?
Yeah. He looks very like, you know, stereotypical pirate kind of. Not that you guys identify that look and aesthetic with pirate, but like he totally has the pirate aesthetic down.
Well, he's not very eloquent, but there still might be something of use.
The next entry says, I was thinking about how salt is a tasty rock. And if salt is tasty, then what other rocks are tasty? So I licked a rock today, and Van Richten got mad at me and yelled at me.
The fuck?
Van Richten's a very smart person. He probably knows
which rocks are tasty.
He probably knows about all the tasty rocks. I bet he's keeping that information for himself.
What the fuck?
It's followed by a sketch. Also, it's pretty crude, but pretty clearly Van Richten. He's got the glasses. He's got a very, very grumpy face, like a very grumpy frown and like mean eyebrows. But it is a very grumpy and cranky Van Richten, clearly, nonetheless.
That's great.
Well, let's just skip these weird parts.
Oh no, I quite like them.
Found a new spear today. A ghost gave it to me. Apparently he was the chief of his tribe long ago. The craftsmanship reminds me of my tribe. It's a good weapon. And there's a sketch of the blood spear. It's a quite good sketch.
I knew it as soon as you said the spear. I'm like, oh, it's the spear we found.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very good sketch.
Well, if this is here, I assume she didn't make it.
I'm more interested in that part about the ghost gave it to her.
There is no sketch of the ghost. It just says a ghost gave it to me, and there doesn't seem to be any other information. We tracked down the first card today
I had to find
that
their
the
cards.
Vistani lady gave us.
Oh, Jimmy's like the first clue on the card?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good with riddles and things like that. So I let Van Richten and Damien and Sylvia figure it out. But we found a man named Yuri in Valaki. He seems nice. And there is a sketch. I would like Marcus and Katrina to roll either perception or insight. I'm assuming as Victor is reading this, and then every time there's a sketch, everyone's like, "Oh, let me see." But Katrina, as the book passes to you, the sketch of Yuri, he looks to be a redheaded dude, but he looks very familiar.
But not familiar from the pic, because he was in the picture of the old party that
He was in the picture of the old party. But is this like familiarity beyond that?
You think it has less to do with the photograph and more to do, you think, with like the way the artist has like captured the subject, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, but go on.
Yeah, you're staring at it for a while. I assume, Victor's like, okay, give it back so we can keep reading, and then you're like, wait, and then it hits you. You've seen this pose before, right? It's like, so the sketch is not just like him like standing there like a mugshot. It's like he's like sitting down and reading, and the way his pose, the way like he holds the book, reminds you of Irina.
Oh.
Huh.
And now you can't unsee it.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Huh.
So Yuri was Tatiana's incarnation in that cycle.
It can be a man. That's weird.
But interesting regardless.
The next chapter says, we met another man in Valaki today. but I don't think he was real. His name was Sergey.
God damn it.
That dramatic pause is just like, flipping the page.
What does it mean by he's not real? She doesn't think he's real.
Something was off about him.
Did she write anything else explaining what she meant?
She doesn't seem to have.
I tried to explain to the others, but I don't think they believed me.
Did you write your explanation?
Yuri and Sylvia especially seem to like him. There is a sketch. But it's a very strange one. It looks more like eraser and like cross out more than anything else. You see she like tried to draw something and then kept like,
Dodging it out and trying to start over.
Yeah.
Weird.
It gives the impression though of like, it's not quite a silhouette. I mean, there is a silhouette, but like,
I forget, did the other party ever open the book?
I don't think they learned how.
They learned how, but they mentioned that
They
it
couldn't.
was a huge pain in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they?
Actually, Van
didn't
Richten
say
said that they opened it.
Yeah.
yeah, Van Richten said that they opened it.
Okay. I was just completely misremembering then. So, Luna apparently could discern something about Sergei that was off, and led to her belief that he wasn't real, which kind of tracks because, according to the book, Strahd killed him, didn't he?
And yet she had no such reservations about the ghost. I put ghost in air quotation marks.
Well, ghosts are real.
Yeah, the Sergei is not. Or at least, I don't know what to think of this.
Marcus knows all too well that ghosts are real. He had the unfortunate experience of being possessed by one in like session 2.
Right, that was a thing.
But it also makes it seem like Luna was the only one to notice that something was wrong.
We also know that a man called Sergei in Valaki is the person who turned Valeria into a vampire.
Implying that Sergei himself is a vampire. Or at least a being with the ability to create vampires. Either way.
But yeah, you're stuck looking at this sketch, and it's very like
Unsettling.
face unavailable.
Let me guess. Flip the page. The rest of the journal is just filled with more drawings attempting to draw Sergei.
There's a few, but well, there you assume it's lots of scribbles that you maybe assume. There is one very nice sketch of a cat.
Aww.
Yeah, you think you like flip back to like the early sketches, like earlier on in the book. You think she's improving.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Castle Ravenloft last night, and we met Strahd. He was kind of scary, but I also think he seemed confused and maybe a little sad.
Huh.
I could tell from the music he played. And there is a sketch of who you assume to be Strahd, but he's like, he's playing the organ.
Why is
So
he
you don't
confused
see
and
the
sad?
face. But you can sort of see from like the way he's playing it, like the way his arms are, it's sort of, the sketch does convey like some kind of emotion, you think.
Interesting.
Sylvia wants to go back to Castle Ravenloft soon. She said she wants to see the library. And Rickton says it's not a good idea. Strahd was very polite to her last night. And then there's a sketch of Sylvia. Katrina, you are probably like missing your mother right about now.
Yeah, are you sure you want to look at this?
It is quite good. She looks like she's thinking about what you don't know, but
Still at the castle. Can't forget about that.
the next entry says Van Richten and Sylvia have figured out where the holy symbol is. We're going to Lake Baratok. Van Richten says to make more silver arrows because we're going to have to fight werewolves. But I don't want to make more arrows. I want to hit things with my axe. And there is a sketch of an axe, as well as a bow, as well as, arrows. And there is... This one's a bit more of a doodle, but it is, like a doodle of Luna, like, hitting a wolf with an axe.
Sure.
got like the smile and angry eyebrows
I forget,
going on.
Do we know if they ever got the holy symbol or not?
I thought one of the journals actually mentioned they got the symbol.
Okay.
I think it was Damien said it.
So they got it, so then it could...
They got the symbol, but they failed to get the sword.
And then it ended up somewhere else, I guess. Like, this isn't a clue to help us find
the final entry. We got the symbol. The moon looks really pretty. And then you turn the page and there is one final sketch of a near full moon shining in the sky. There's like a landscape of the forest and the lake. And like the moon reflects in the lake, and it's a really gorgeous sketch. You can tell a lot of detail and attention went into this picture.
Cool.
The moon especially is breathtaking.
How long of a period are these journal entries written over? Out of curiosity.
It doesn't say.
Oh.
Yeah. It didn't seem like this Luna was very skilled with her words. This is the same person who licked rocks out of curiosity. Still. They are quite skilled.
Know what happened to her?
As an artist.
I
don't.
Which holy symbol? Do we have it?
We do not have a holy symbol.
It's
That's the final clue we're looking for.
We have the sword, the book, and we don't have the symbol.
You have a holy symbol, but not the holy symbol.
We have several
Correct.
holy symbols. There was a holy symbol that was in the wagon too. And then
But we didn't have the symbol.
yeah.
It's probably in Curse, which is where we're going next.
And Marcus also has a non-specific holy symbol that he had from before entering Barovia. That I assume he used in monster hunting.
Presumably.
But there's a specific one we need.
Do you think Luna got eaten by werewolves?
No.
Do you think she was a werewolf?
Well, she seemed oddly fascinated with the moon after fighting werewolves.
We don't know if that was before or after werewolves. But
well, I mean,
the
journal entry before said
we're gonna go fight werewolves to get the symbol. We got the symbol. The moon
that's
is pretty.
fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Going back to the other journals, specifically the two that we have from Rickton and Damien, their entries about finding out about needing the skull and going to Castle Ravenloft, near the tail end of their journey. Presumably those were after they got the holy symbol. Is there any indication that Luna was in their party at that point, or had they sort of left the group?
You pull out Van Richten's journal, or
Yep.
Damien's journal, or both?
Both.
Y'all gonna make me rewatch the the old VODs.
You don't remember what happened to her?
I don't remember if the old what you've read already mentioned it or not.
I mean,
what would be hilarious, and the answer I'm fishing for, because it would be so fucking cool, is some mention of Luna not making it, or some reference that they were no longer in the party by the time they were going to try and get the sword, because that would imply that she turned at the lake and they had to put her down.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you don't know or remember,
Yeah,
what we
it's
learned,
not
not a big
at
deal.
all important.
So
I was
yeah.
just curious if you had a prepared answer.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I don't recall what the journal said.
Okay.
Yeah, well, anyway. Well, we'd better get some rest now.
I think Damien's journal said something about, like, shame about Luna, but...
I have this, like, recollection of that too, but...
Yeah. I just don't know what episode that was in off the top of my head, so I
It's,
can't,
again,
like...
not a big deal.
Yeah.
Once we finish with this...
What did this journal say they were going to the lake to get the symbol, or they got the symbol and then they were going to the lake?
They went to the
They
lake.
got the symbol, the moon is pretty.
They got the symbol at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently it ended up possibly at Kresk afterwards. In any case, it's time to rest.
Yes, it is.
We rest.
I am mildly curious about Misery's comment about not needing a sleeping bag or a bedroll or something, and
Well-
I will sort of ask mildly incredulously, "What, are you just going to sleep on the floor?"
No.
Are you going to sleep at all?
No.
Do you need sleep?
That seems very
Not
unhealthy.
really. For you, maybe.
Well, thank you for signing up for basically every watch shift from now on.
If you trust me, sure.
We'll see.
I trust her if it lets me sleep longer.
I don't trust my -1 perception roll, but okay.
And now we finally sleep.
Yeah.
Over this time, I'm going to try to attune to the blood spear if it requires attunement.
Yes, you attune to it.
I'm gonna sleep as far away from Misery as I can.
Do I notice this?
Roll
I still
perception.
may all just put our bedrolls somewhere where we want.
Roll that -1 perception. You're too busy focusing on the spear.
Okay.
I guess you just notice that we each go off to put our bedrolls somewhere.
For all you know, he's just sleeping near the wine. You don't really pay it any mind.
That's fair.
Anyway, we sleep.
Do I learn anything about the spear through the attunement?
It is a +2 weapon.
Okay.
And whenever you hit someone with a melee attack with the spear and reduce them to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points.
Ah. Okay.
Specifically 2d6. Which doesn't stack with your other temporary hit points, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Unfortunate. You took the higher of the two.
Although I think you only get temporary hit points when you kill people with spells?
No, just when you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points.
Oh, okay. Warlock level plus charisma.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
probably gonna be more than 2d6.
that's higher than the maximum roll on the spear. Okay.
Yeah.
It's still a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't suppose it happens to be finesse or, a charisma based attack roll.
No.
Okay.
Is there any point in
Well-
you having the spear?
Nope.
No
Not
one
at
else
all.
wanted it. We can just leave it in the cart if you're not enthused.
Yeah, I can't really use it.
It is versatile.
Versatile just means you can use it one-handed or two-handed.
Yeah.
And damage die increases if you two-hand it.
Well, it also means you can wield it two-handed, but also not need Warcaster to cast, because you just you either put the second hand on it to attack, or you take the hand off it to cast.
Correct.
Right, but if I wanted I already have Primal Savagery as a melee attack, which is 1d10 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is significantly better than this.
Actually, no, 2d10 because I'm 5th level.
Significantly better.
Well, we
Wow.
can keep the spear in the cart in case one of the party dies and we end up with someone who can use it.
I would rather not think about that right now.
You spend half your long rest attuning to this thing, and then you're like, this is
Wow,
garbage. And then
this
you
is
spend
worthless.
You spend the other half of your long rest unattuning to it. It can
I mean,
be
I'll
pro-
still stay attuned to it because theoretically it could come in use, but it's probably going to be more useful selling it soon.
Mm. Has Misery ever been to the library/magic item shop?
That's your call. I wasn't controlling her at that point.
Up to you.
Sure, maybe she peeked in. Or
Alright.
unless what's her name was trying to hide her, Lady Wachter.
As I said, it's kind of up to you.
Yeah, sure, she went in.
Anyway, eventually we get up. Katrina will make her way up to the sort of overlook of the barrels.
You prepare the spell in question.
Mm-hmm. Referencing the prayer book and something about how to actually perform this ritual as a ritual, because clerics can do that.
This is like your first morning prayer, right?
Technically, I would not necessarily consider it a morning prayer, because Katrina is very much not religious, and she, just became a cleric.
Oh, you're up here.
Does Katrina not feel any pressure whatsoever to try and consider the religious perspective, considering the power you're trying to draw from?
I'm just putting my
I haven't put too much thought into that connection just yet.
Okay.
And the answer there is I don't know.
Is that cultist body still there?
No, it got cleaned up.
From
As did
Katrina's
the
perspective,
light under it.
Yeah, I'm just putting my token here so the stream can see what's happening.
from Katrina's perspective, they have seen basically 3 people die in the span of as many weeks that they would have considered friends. Even if they didn't actually die, they may as well have died. And
oh yeah, you never told me. We can talk about that later.
And there's this sort of resolve that she wants to not only prevent other people from dying before they should, but she also kind of wants, like, she's starting to get like real fed up with her father and her father's army, and there is some part of her who wants to let the dead stay dead. And I think those two in conjunction are kind of the parts of her that resonate with the Raven Queen, because that's kind of what the Raven Queen's whole shtick is.
Okay.
If she grows more or less religious over the course of the campaign, we'll see. But right now, it's just that sort of internal determination.
Okay. So, you're going to fix the wine?
I'm going to try.
Luck.
Thank you.
Well, we can only... Unless you cast it multiple times, we can only fix like 1 barrel.
We have like 30 minutes to spare. I was just gonna do one at a time.
Wait, can you cast this as a ritual?
Yes.
It is a ritual.
It is a ritual spell, and it is a ritual spell, and clerics have ritual caster, so they can cast spells that they have prepared as rituals.
Well, never mind then.
Rituals don't need to be prepared.
Yeah.
If you cast it specifically as a ritual.
There is a specific, like, for wizards, yes, that's the case, because you have it in your spellbook, and you can just, like, reference it. But for every other ritual caster class, you do have to have it prepared in order to cast it as a ritual. I have looked into the rules for this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, warlocks. Although warlocks don't prepare anything ever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Otherwise, as a cleric, you're going to just have every ritual ever.
There is also the, like, ritual caster feat, which gives you a ritual book that you can keep ritual spells in, so you don't have to prepare them to cast them as rituals.
Okay.
But that's a feat.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Regardless. 30 minutes or so, making sure to check the wine to see it's not actually poisoned after it is purified.
Wine is purified. And there is a relief among the family as each barrel gets purified.
I honestly didn't think that would work. Glad it did, though.
Mother Night be praised.
Mother Night be praised.
Mother Night wasn't the one who purified your wine, but alright.
Debatable on that. Either way. Turning to the rest.
I was worried. Not that I didn't have faith in you, but if we lost these barrels, I'm afraid our ability to produce wine is rather diminished of late.
How so?
He looks at his father, and they sort of have this shared glance, like they're debating how much they want to talk about something. right?
Mm-hmm.
And as they debate, one of the other family members, the older boy, the eldest child, runs in, bursting through the door. His face looks completely pale. Mama, Papa, the gem is missing.
We don't have time for this.
The what now?
Sorry, you were quiet, Cassie, and I.
We don't have time for this.
Are you sure, Claudio? Yes, I just went to check. The last gem is gone. And all throughout the room, you just see this wave of complete despair wash over everyone.
What happened?
I don't know, but I think it's important. And to be fair, we don't have anywhere else we need to be.
The old man, drops his stick in shock, like his cane.
Kresk will still be waiting for us whenever we decide we want to go there. Valeria doesn't want us in Vallaki. There's nowhere we need to be crucially right now.
Adrian will step forward to answer your original question. To clarify, the wine, we are only able to produce wine because of the magical gems that were planted as seeds in the earth. There used to be 3. As each has been lost over time.
Lost how?
A month ago, some witches came. We fought them off, but they stole one of the gems. Before that, well, you'll have to ask my brother Erwin about the other gem. But with each loss, we've lost... I don't know what the word is, but like different models of wine.
Different vintages.
Different vintages. With each loss, we've lost a vintage. And now, we have none.
And this last gem only disappeared because of these druids and the blight, yes?
Yes, the forest folk.
Did you look after we cleared out the cultists, the druids last night?
Too busy cleaning up.
Shit.
Misery.
Where did you get these gems in the first place? Could you not make more?
We cannot.
They just magically sprouted out of the earth in front of you?
There was a wizard long ago.
And I suppose none of you are quite as useful as said wizard. Pity.
Well, I hardly doubt you could conjure one. Do you
Right.
know why this place is called the Wizard of Wines?
Probably because of the wizard.
Yes.
Wait, the place
Misery.
is called the Wizard of Wines? I thought the person who ran the winery was called the Wizard of Wines.
No,
It is-
the winery is called the Wizard of Wines.
Oh.
No, the old man is not a wizard.
Misery,
It
did
just
you
looks
check
like
any of the druid corpses last night? See if they had anything like this on them. If not, we can do that now.
I don't think any of us checked. I think the only druid body we really looked at was the one that had the staff.
No time like the
Yeah.
present.
And I
Katrina's
feel like
gonna-
it would have been mentioned that we found that on that body if it was there.
Yeah. Katrina is going to start going around and searching for the bodies.
Make me an investigation
I'm
check.
assuming we just threw them in a pile outside to be disposed of later.
Yes, to be buried or incinerated, as is the custom.
You find a necklace of human teeth,
That's
but no gems.
decidedly not what we want. Gathering corpses to be disposed of, burnt,
Can
buried,
they show me
or
the area where the gem was?
for misery.
Because I kind of want to look around and see if I can find any clues as to what happened to it.
We'd rather keep some secrets, just that.
Well, do you want
If
our
we-
help
You
or
want to
not?
keep the location of a thing that's no longer there secret. Yeah, that makes sense.
I've an idea of where it is.
Oh, do tell.
Well, it must have been taken by these wildlings, yes?
Presumably, yes.
And we've known for some time they're gathering up on Yester Hill. Some strange ritual is afoot.
Well, point us in that direction and
My
we'll
best
have a look.
educated guess is the gem is there.
Well, point us in the right direction and we'll have a look.
I guess for completeness' sake, you wouldn't happen to know where these witches went. Possibly in the same place?
I doubt it. No, I suspect the witches usually congregate near the ruins of Berez, but you don't want to go there. It's very
What?
dangerous.
Define very dangerous.
Oh, the Witch Mother, for one. We avoid the area as best we can.
Where is Perez exactly?
That is the old village that you were looking at a while ago.
Like down, like south from Argynvos Holt.
Yeah, down the
Yeah.
hill.
Okay. Well,
We very nearly went there.
Yeah, we did.
Well, it's perhaps a good thing you didn't. The hill he
we
marks on your
conveniently
map
still
is
have.
here.
This is where the ruins are.
No,
this is
that's
hill.
where the druids are congregating.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pinging over here, where this.
Yeah, that's Berez.
Okay.
This is Perez, this is Witches.
This
This,
is
I believe, is
Yester
Yester Hill.
Yeah. And I couldn't begin to tell you where the third is. It's been 10 years.
What did happen to it?
My brother Erwin was on watch that night. He would know.
Isn't he in the room right now?
No, he's the innkeeper.
Oh, The
in
other brother.
Velaki.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
But we're not going back to Velaki right now.
No, not right now. Well,
But we don't necessarily have anywhere else to be other than, say,
I guess
Kresk.
we'll go to Yester Hill and have a look then.
Does seem to be just further down the road.
If it's really so important that everyone here can get drunk.
It is. Trust me.
Let's get moving.
Before we head out, I am going to cast Animate Dead on the one druid I had pointed out.
All right. You should be able to.
Yep.
Yeah, you have your own journal thing.
It's gonna have to catch up.
Henry 2.0, I assume.
Oh no, she's Camilla.
Sure.
I'll get the cart ready.
I'll help you with that. That is not what I wanted to do. I was still on drawing mode.
Given how close it is, do we actually need to bring the cart?
It's not that close.
I'll put you guys back on the region map.
There, now you can finish putting the line on the crest mark.
Yep. I was rudely interrupted.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
I didn't see that you were.
There's
It's
supposed to
like
be
2
exclamation
miles
marks.
from where we are.
Well, if you
It's
take the
less.
road,
Here, so
where's my ruler?
It's like an hour walk. 3 miles.
I suppose the horses could use the rest. I assume.
My ruler tool disappeared. Or it got collapsed in the menu. That's weird. Okay,
Strange.
refreshing it. Fixes. Yeah, if you take the road. Alright, the road is back up.
More from here.
The road is like a. It's like a good 4 miles. Versus if you cut. It'd be 3, yeah.
I mean, this is just directly following the road. It's more like 3.
Yeah.
I would rather not try to cut through the woods, given that
That's
wildlings.
not cutting through the woods. That's more or less directly following the road. It's like 3 miles.
Still, I would rather not cut through the woods, given
Actually.
that there is a road that leads straight there.
Yes, that's why we.
Yeah.
were-
Yeah.
If you actually cut through the woods.
Well, I
if
guess
you
there is
really cut through the woods, it would be.
there is this clearing, I guess.
Yeah. As opposed to going all the way around, right?
Hmm.
Save yourself a mile.
Yeah, but also it would take us longer to walk through the woods. Because, it's all trees in the
It
way,
saves us
and
0.2 miles. It's like not worth it.
Mm.
We'll go around.
All right.
But still, yeah. It's an hour's walk, so.
Fair enough.
So you head out.
It's not like we're going from Barovia Village to Volagi.
Make sure that we have everything we need from the cart first.
Yeah.
So if you're not taking the cart, I'm just gonna take that off.
You should probably. I hope you put that on the GM layer so it's easy
I
to
did.
find again. Good.
I'm not gonna delete it. I don't hate myself enough to remake it.
I put myself on the road.
I would like everyone to roll a d20.